Okay, so I figured I would take a minute to show you guys on a project that I'm working on how to do the ladder stitch. And so what you want to do is you want to take, I have about 20 inches of thread here, put it on a needle. So you want to put it on the needle like so. Come on, get in there. There we go. Double it. So I'm going to double it, and I'm going to tie a knot on the ends like this. Okay. And then there's the knot. You can hardly see it. And then I'm just going to trim the excess. So you just got little tails. All right, so we have an opening here, and we're going to be doing a ladder stitch to close it. So what you want to do, here's those flaps that we have in all of our stuffed animal type patterns. And what you want to do is you want to go in on the inside at the very beginning. And can you see this, Sarah? Mm-hmm. Okay. You want to push the stuffing in, take a tiny stitch on the inside like this. Do you see that? All right. And pull your thread, but before it goes all the way, take your needle and put it through between the two pieces of thread at the end, and then pull that. That locks your thread in place. Now from the inside, come right beside the knot and go to the outside like this. Can you see that? All right, so now we're going to stick our needle here. Now we got to do some things here that makes it easier. So push all the stuffing inside, and then push the flaps, kind of fold them in like that on that side. And then I'm going to do the same on the other side, pushing the flaps in like that. Okay, so now it looks like kind of like a mouth, like hello. All right, so push all that in, push the stuffing in really good. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pinch it together like this. Okay, so it looks like this. And what we want to do is we want to come right across from where the thread's coming out, and we're going to take a stitch on the outside like that. So can you see that? Right there. All right, and then we're going to pull the thread, and it's going to go across that gap. That's okay. Now we're going to go on the other side directly across from where we came out of with that thread, and we're going to take another stitch on the other side, about that much, no more than 1/8 of an inch. Okay, and what you can see is happening here is you can see that the thread is crossing that gap. So let's take another stitch. So right across from where this one came out, I'm going to take another stitch. Okay. And do you see the ladder, why it's called a ladder stitch now? So now we're going to pull that, and it pulls the opening shut. And you're just going to continue. So I'm going to quickly continue doing this, and I'll show you how I tie it off. So I'm just going to keep working on both sides. Okay. Hey, Bean. We're getting photobombed here by Mr. Bean. Hey, Bean. He's our sewing buddy. Okay. Once you get the hang of this, it goes pretty quickly. So you're just holding the opening shut with one hand and pulling, you know, doing your needling with the other. Sarah, you want to come in a little closer?
Sure. So
it can be seen up close, so they can see a really good how that's working. And just crisscross, crisscross on each side. And then when you get to the end, I'm going to take 2 more. So I'm going to take this side, and I'm going to go one more time over here. And you want to come out really close to the seam. So the seam where it continues, come out as close as you can to that. Give it a good tug. Okay, so you got all the excess thread. Hold it back here, give it a tug. Now, what you want to do is you want to take a little piece of fabric right next to where you came out. And now we want to go through the loop and then through the loop again. So it's a double, and then when you pull it, it locks down. Now what we do is we take our needle and we go in right beside the knot, and we come out over here, and now you're gonna pull, and that kind of sinks the knot into the fabric and hides it. And then you pull the strings and you snip, and now the tails go into the body, and that's how you close it up. And to do that, we're going to use a 5-inch doll needle and embroidery floss that's relatively close in color to the fabric. So I'm going to cut a piece of string about 20 inches long. Oh, come on. Oh, just doesn't want to cut. Okay, I need to sharpen my scissors. And I'm going to take the fabric, or I'm going to take the needle, and I'm going to take the string and feed it through the eye. You're not going to double it. Okay, so we want to look at the center and kind of pinpoint where the belly button will be. And I'm going to put it right here. I just want to move it just a little bit. Right there. All right, and you're going to come up a couple inches, and you're going to start pushing it through. Okay, and we want to come out. Sarah, you might have to stand up to get this better. We're going to come out about, you want to come in, like, angle your needle down lower so it doesn't come out the middle of the back. But you're just going to try to get it centered in the back. So I'm just playing with it here until I get it centered. All right, I feel like that is the center, so I'm going to go ahead and let it come out. But I'm not going to pull it all the way through the string. So I'm going to leave a tail. Here's the tail. Okay, so now what we're going to do, sorry, you might have to change your angle again, is we're going to come down here on the seam, and we're going to go in right in the middle. So I'm kind of looking here where I want this to go. Right in the middle. And we're going to go in right at the seam. Right behind the seam. So I'm just looking at this and making sure it's where I want it to be. I'm actually going to move it. Okay. All right, that looks good to me. Right in the middle here. And then what we're going to do is we're going to come back up through this hole. And it's going to be close. You don't want to come out right where it was. You kind of want to leave about that much, about 1/4 of an inch below where you first entered. And we're going to pull it through. Okay. So now that we have, now we're going to remove the needle. And all we have is these 2 strings. So what we're going to do is we're going to tie a knot, and we're going to pull it fairly firm. So you're going to pull on a downward motion, okay, and then you're going to do it again. So you're going to double knot, and then you're going to triple knot, okay, and then you're going to snip these tails pretty close. And then on the back side, you can see we have a cute little tushy.